for the next part of our show, Twitch, and I think we've. Well, Jimmy, what's going on?
The controls are taken over, and I'm sorry, Selfie, that you finally got to speak and then she immediately had an episode in the truck. But blame Atlas for that one. Thank him and blame him. He saved your life. But we're back in this big empty warehouse hangar. You've gotten out of this truck. It's on you guys now. Carmela's up and about. She seems to favor a leg and looks really fatigued, but she's been kind of caught up through Atlas, and I guess you guys get on your ship and settle down into a room for a moment, and Carmela maybe starts the conversation. Selfie, you're pulled yourself back together. You're okay, as much as everyone's okay right now, meaning you're alive, and that's all that you can really count on.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna make a quick roll. Okay. Yeah, Carmela, I think, limps into the room with the rest of you and says, what the fuck? No, like, really, Selfie, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh.
Well, by all intents and purposes, we delivered the package, so we should be getting paid. And Atlas, like, looks to the others.
Yeah.
No,
Getting paid is really good.
I don't think that's happening.
Selfie. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say, really. Are you hurt? Are you hurting? Does it hurt?
It does hurt.
It hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Atlas looks at you.
It's actually just starting to hurt now.
Okay.
And it's starting to hurt.
I'm just imagining just like an intense throbbing pain on the arm.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like arm to chest pain. Yeah, like your hand that doesn't exist aches.
I mean, other than the
your forearm aches.
the rest
all of the
my
muscles.
The rest of my body is hurting because I got exploded on, but like my arm is gone.
Yeah. Carmela looks around and is like, we should, all of us, well, most of us, be in the med bay. But before we do that, what happens now? Are we gonna get paid?
Are we even safe here? We spiked a
Safe
few.
is a relative term.
We spiked a handful of guys on the way out.
It'll take some time
Wait, who
before
did they
that settles.
And did you fill Carmela in? Who you spiked? Atlas.
Oh, Atlas, totally. Like, she got the same thing that Selfie got. Like, he did not learn anything.
Even the bit about her arm, he just scared the shit out of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Your arm's gone. Oh wait, no, it's not you. Sorry.
She had trouble dealing with it too. It was more like she went into uncontrollable weeping for a while. And concern, it was weeping over Selfie actually. But yeah, anyway, she's like, so you killed who exactly?
If you think of a food chain, or this city's, well, this planet's really military structure. Think of the top of that food chain and just like a few rungs underneath them. Big dogs.
We had to kill some important people to get out of there. What the hell were we delivering? What did we get mixed up in? I was here for to fly the ship and to get some profit.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasure servitors.
You saw the same information we did when we took the job.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. I just haven't stepped this badly since my last job, frankly. But
you're not stuck on a planet. You still have a ship.
Quarantine is in prison. That's good.
I looked to Selfie. I'm sorry about your arm, but we got some heat on us right now. We kind of had to ice 3 Inquisitors and a security robot to get out of there.
Yeah, I was told or shown. It's not.
I don't think we can exactly stick around to complete any other jobs.
I don't.
Might just be best if we can get into Spike's Basin.
I don't think we're in shape to attempt any jobs either.
But if we immediately try to book it off the planet, wouldn't we be raising a huge attention to ourselves?
They don't really know we're here. We got in under false codes and stuff.
It's gonna be raised up when they find out anyways. I think if we can get out, we avoid sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
Yeah. So about Anastasia's codes. They're good for getting in and out clean, but I've done business here. They have a pretty substantial security apparatus in orbit around the planet, as you'd expect. They could be on embargo on the planet. We don't know. And if we try and run and we're the only ship leaving, we're sitting ducks. And need I remind you, after we just recently, outgunned some pirates, that this is not a ship that we can win against prepared military foes.
Was there a way that we can check that?
Can we find that out? Because if we can, we need to go. If we can't, then we can't. But
if I can gain access to some kind of, if we could access some kind of border control flight logs, I might be able to see any incoming or outgoing or ranged
I need
voyages.
to know. Anastasia's codes are good. I think we're okay here right now, in the sense that they don't know that we are here.
But we don't know if we can leave.
The Inquisitors, I guess we ended up shooting. Was it the same ones that stopped us?
Yes.
Okay.
But isn't it
They're
going to
the
be?
only ones who
But
realistically
they
have
stopped
seen
us an hour away from here. They don't know where we came from exactly, but the breadcrumbs are there. They're just not traceable yet, and I don't know how seriously they're taking this security situation.
Isn't it going to be trivial for them to look at? Oh, they died. They were killed here. This thing blew up on the vidcams. They can see us driving to here. Isn't this going to be like over within a day or two?
We can't stay here. We gotta go.
Make a roll. Administer. Make a roll, Atlas.
Administer?
Yeah, dude.
Like how safe? If we do stay right here, how safe is it? Because it doesn't feel safe to me. But maybe.
And
maybe
Varlo or Maximus, you can make an administer. I think Varlo administer to help. Give him an extra +1.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
What you're rolling to figure out is what you know of the White Lotus, what pull they have, what's talked about, etc. So yeah, you get a +1 Apache.
+1?
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Nice.
Good roll. So you got the full breadth from some Varlo filling you in what he knows, apparently intimately, about the White Lotus.
I had to smuggle myself out before.
Yeah, and how he got away. He helped you, and he filled in some dots. And I guess what do you want to know right now? What's your bucket list? Give me your questions.
How easy it is to leave the planet with the codes that we have right now, and what is necessary for us to get off the planet immediately, and how do we do that without alerting anyone from the White Lotus?
Okay.
Like, I don't care if we get like heat from the other like shitty guard, but like if we can do that without getting heat from the upper guard or getting on a watch list by them, then Atlas is content with that.
So you don't really know the answer to the first question.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how good your codes are. That's the question, is how good is your concealment for now? What you do know is, one, so with what you can figure out and type away and sort of intuit with what you've experienced, the White Lotus is not the primary military arm of the government. It is a special military with special resources, and therefore a lot more unknowns. You know that it would be unacceptable to them to broadcast out loud. In fact, maybe even you flip on some public channels like TV. You pop some TVs on to look at channels. There's no like alerts on the public news or any of the news stations or anything about fugitives, and that makes sense because
Mysterious fire at bar.
The Inquisitors wouldn't let it be known that Inquisitors were killed. It would weaken them. So you know that you would sort of figure that piece out. But you also know that putting the pieces together, the Inquisitors are their own arm, but there's a substantial military presence. It's a powerful government, basically, and that they have the resources to put a lot of traffic under scrutiny in and out of the planet, should they want to. You'd have to do a little bit more investigating or waiting and seeing to find out if it is on, or you could always find out by just taking off, right? But there's a risk to that, because if they have put a quiet blockade down, it's been a couple hours, so it could be now that they've blockaded the ports basically to make sure that the perpetrators don't get away. They could not have. You know that their capabilities are technologically vast, and I don't know. Is there anything else you want to know?
Who is a trusted source on this planet that we could go to help expedite the process?
So that's actually not going to be covered in your administer role. That would be some connect roles with people who are familiar with the planet. So Max and Barlow. You've got Carmela, and she has a trusted source, Anastasia, who set you up, basically. He's got you incognito for the moment, for the time being. And actually, and Carmela speaks up as you're sort of talking through this atlas and says, "We're safe for the time being. They don't know where we came from, and we're under false pretenses here. This is a side storage container warehouse that not the main trade traffic comes and goes from this planet anyway. This is not the main trade hub. This is something ancillary. So we have a little bit of time to plan our action. And that's as far as I would trust Anastasia. Because his stuff's only so good."
When we were first landing on the planet, I made a roll to see if there was like a place that I had some previous connection to, and we established that like it was maybe an abandoned lab or a former like workspace that I had lined up. We don't know. I never got to check what the condition of it is currently. But
yeah,
it either provides us.
I think it's the lab that we saw in the flashback that was damaged and largely destroyed. You don't know what's going on there now.
Right.
You know that the operations there were kind of shut down, basically. So.
At the very least, there's a place, a little bit out of the ways from here, but I should, in theory, have access to it, even if we don't use it as a temporary hideout. If we have to stay on planet, perhaps we can use it as a distraction, a similar tactic to what we did with the Vestarks. We could draw attention to that locale as we try to make our escape, to draw them, split their attention in two different places.
Varlo, So this idea worries me because we know that the Lotus has vast technological resources. You can probably pay attention to multiple things at once if they're looking for a ship leaving. I think the only thing we got really working in our favor right now is the time frame, and this happened quickly. If we're gonna try and make a way out, leaving right now might be our best bet. If we if we take time to try and find out if we can leave or not, then if we did have a window, it's surely gonna close in that time. That's my worry.
That's the question, right? It's a big city, and do we
There's still
disappear
probably
in
a lot
it
of
here? Can we better disappear in it here, or by heading out into the stars?
Well, if we're gonna keep that body with us, we can't stay here. Dollars
Why
to
the
donuts. They can
Fuck!
try.
Did you bring the body with us?
I'm going to build a new arm for Selfie.
From the
From
You could build an arm from anything.
the dead body.
Its structure, the growth,
They got-
it's got something that administered a bio agent. Listen, trust me, I'm the scientist. You will have a better arm.
They have some good cybernetic.
Can I decide if I
implants in them.
want this thing's arm on me first?
Shh, it's okay. You're in shock, Selfie.
We can. I'm sure we can
We're
make
gonna
use
talk.
of the cybernetic
We're gonna talk
implants.
about this, Warlow. Atlas, make sure he's not around me when I'm sleeping.
You guys left. You brought this body and you left Jorans behind.
There wasn't
Was-
much left of him.
Well, that's
Oh
Jorans was with
man,
us? Well,
my henchmen.
I mean,
Well, we don't have to pay him anymore. I
you
guess.
you get an alert selfie on your data pad like henchman slot open. Like, no, like yes. Carmela says he was kind of weird, but
He was nice, but
I'm kind of glad that there's not much left of him, because who knows what they can do with the remains of a brain or something intact.
quite a bit.
Jordan,
Actually,
Jordan's
you'd be
was
surprised.
nice, but his kind's a dime a dozen.
Selfie.
Come on, he just moved boxes, looked at porn all day.
We
I
needed
mean-
that. We needed somebody manning the ship.
We did.
Need
I
I
am-
remind you
I am
all
glad
that
we had
severely
him.
undermanned for this ship.
agreed. Which is why we should potentially look into someone trusted on this planet that is looking for an opening.
Ah,
We can kill
Or
them
we could-
afterwards.
Or
Uh,
Before
We
that,
could
Max, something comes to your head when you say someone trusted on this planet. A certain woman.
Yeah, I know. I got a contact here.
And I will let you guys roll connect if you want to see who else you know. Your social networks are vast and varied. You grew up here, you lived here, you worked here.
yeah, I'll roll 'em, why not? What stat would that be? Charisma?
Connect. Yeah, charisma. Let's just see who you think you're in good favor with. That would be.
This is gonna be a really bad roll. It was a really bad roll.
You didn't leave with many friends, and the ones you had were your underlings who are dead or you
Or
betrayed.
programmed to like me, yeah.
Or
Yeah,
perfect.
Max.
or program.
Yeah, Max, you have friends. You know people who live and work here.
Max,
is
you
like,
have
I
friends.
You
don't
have
wanna leave.
friends,
I
Max.
wanna
Hey,
leave.
Maximus, do you have anyone you would like to introduce to your Mothman and crew?
Not right now. Not with the shit we have coming down on top of us.
Don't want to
Not
take
with-
us home to
not
meet
with
your
the
mom?
Hornets. Not with the Hornets nest we just kicked. Can we talk to Anastasia? Maybe she knows if there's a blockade going on.
It's a he. And
He.
yes, you can get. And yes, you can contact. You can try and get in contact with Anastasia.
Okay. Do you guys really want to stay here?
I don't have strong feelings either
No.
way. I just, if we're gonna leave, it has to be now. Or if we're gonna stay, we need to find a way to relocate now. because I don't think staying here.
Then we gotta ditch the body.
I just need to keep the arm. We can ditch the body.
I'm not. We're not keeping anything of the body.
Then we need to get off planet because I'm not giving up these cybernetics.
Cold
Looks like
dead
a
hands.
weird thing to die by.
Cold dead
Right.
hand.
In my cold dead hands, I will not let these cold dead hands go.
Nope.
It's the fucking
Okay.
feedback loop of cold dead hands.
If,
All right.
if we are leaving, can we at least do a little bit of diligence and double check to make sure they're not blockading and zap?
Yeah, that's why we're talking Anastasia.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm missing an arm, so
Yeah.
I'm missing some things.
That's fine. I forgive
You're perfectly fine.
We've got this underhand. It's fine.
Yeah.
it's you're harmless.
Atlas, I love you. How much would it hurt you if you lost half of your appendages?
Not at
One
all.
of it. One of his wings.
Not at all? Oh, you probably grow the things back, don't you?
Okay, so Carmela's going to reach out to her contact, to Anastasia. She says before doing it, says, I have my back channels encrypted, but this is a breadcrumb, just so you guys know.
Can I opt to help kind of like make sure it stays hidden?
No, so she says it's gonna be hidden. Like
Okay.
It'll be there's no extra roll. She doesn't have to roll for it, but she just
Okay.
goes. Says,
elusive.
the more we talk,
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
okay. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. And I'm gonna make a roll for it. We're gonna make it an opposed roll.
Leaving is gonna
Uh-oh.
piss off Outer Tech too.
Yeah, you have some inbox items, Atlas. Nothing like urgent. It was like, hey, you wanted to help with this. We have this thing you need to analyze, and go help this this doctor or this researcher, basically.
Was that on planet or off planet?
It's on planet.
Atlas doesn't care. He would bring it up to the others that there is a job there, but also be like, we should leave.
Sorry, we're too busy killing this whole organization that tried to blow us up.
Yeah, I think if our course of action is to take an exit from this planet abruptly, perhaps we focus on making Selfie whole again, and then we deal with the issue of Briggs University being lying, backstabbing pieces of shit. We take back our psionic child, and we worry about Outer Tech after that.
What are they doing
Okay.
to Adair?
Okay, so
I didn't want to leave him.
Atlas sort of shrugs and says, I mean, he's too valuable to kill, so he's probably still alive.
That's my point. What are they doing to him?
Nothing that won't kill him.
hopefully keep him alive, right?
Hopefully, yes, but
no.
some things are better than some things. Death is better than.
They're probably feeding him pie, and when we get to him, he's just gonna want to stay with them.
Or they'll give him back to us willingly, and then he'll explode too.
Oh God!
You guys know we have to kill all of those guys,
A
right?
psychic bomb
Yes.
child.
Yes.
Who do
Absolutely.
who do we need to kill?
Briggs.
All of Briggs.
University.
All of
The
Briggs
entire
University.
Their
Okay.
alumni, their associates, their
Well,
faculty.
let's- I mean, if they give us what we want, which is our money and our child, then there's no problem.
They're not going to give us the money. We were expected to die. If
I
we
suppose if I hold a spike thrower to their leader's head, they
Yeah,
might give us the
Carmela goes, bingo.
I mean, sure, but I think by the time we get to their leader,
No, it was bingo
would
to
kill
your,
us.
your comment. We
money.
were
Yeah,
expected
they're
to
just
die.
gonna kill us. Yeah.
oh yeah, they're just
Yeah,
gonna kill
yes.
us. If we show up there, they're just gonna kill us.
That's why we show up with nukes.
With some time and a bit of planning, I think we can make that work. That's why we should focus on Selfie's arm
Yeah,
and
first,
pooling our
second,
resources.
third things first. Fourth thing,
First, get us
we
off of this
murder
planet.
Briggs University.
And
Oh,
yeah, so you need to. Someone needs to make a notice roll, and the way that you set your DC is tell me how you're going to figure out how you're going to investigate how safe it is to take off.
I would hypothetically, I pitch it to you guys. I could hypothetically send out some kind of pinging scan to see if they've set up any kind of lines of embargement or embargo to prevent people from leaving. If any of their um, more noticeable blockade vessels are in place, or if any other ships are actively leaving or entering the planet space, that might give us a good indicator. We could follow suit. And it just comes down to whether or not our codes hold up. But if other ships are coming and going as usual, then I don't see an issue why we couldn't make an attempt now.
Mm. That's fine.
Okay.
Atlas doesn't know, so.
Okay, well, so what are you rolling on, Farlow?
Rosebud and I are just gonna like scan the like upper atmosphere of the planet and see if we can determine whether or not ships are entering or leaving the atmosphere as normal.
Interesting. Take a +1 for using Rosebud.
Cool. Program 1.
It's not going to cut it. Yeah, so you can see, so you do a scan, and you do some work to like hack your signal a little bit, so it's not just a broadcast. You do some intelligent investigative work and piece it together. But Rosebud helps you because you don't have to just scan. If you do like a big ping and whatever, it looks suspicious. It could be found out. But Rosebud like lets you do a bunch of little things and pieces the information together for you, and you look at it. And yeah, you can see that there's a variety of forces. There's a military, the main military dry dock. You can see other security centers, orbital centers around the planet itself, and you can see that there's movement. There's no blockade, it appears, because there's traffic coming and going from the planet's surface and whatnot. But there are assets that are
Moving,
collecting and moving. You don't know where they're moving to.
Okay.
But you have an idea that there is a coordinated, something coordinated is happening just by Rosebud's interpretation of these various ship movements. There's various like pilot vessels, like various customs fleet, like not fleets, but like ships and squadrons that wouldn't be close together that are getting closer together, things like that.
Okay.
Where you'd expect them to be positioned elsewhere.
It
looks
like
anomalous.
preparing...
It doesn't look like necessarily that something has happened yet. That has any coordinated, like a defined strategy, but interesting things are moving in the orbit of the planet.
Well, the alarms are going off. They haven't yet reacted, or they're just starting to come to life, as it were. If we're going to go, it has to be immediately. Otherwise, they'll be in place. They're taking action, and it's not like I start relaying that same information and showing like the rest of the crew the clusters where they're gathering and like all that goodness. So if we're going to go, it has to be now. There'll probably be a little bit more. There will be a little bit more scrutiny than normal, but if we're going to leave, let's get going.
Let's go.
Right then, Carmela.
Let's do it.
Carmela looks and is like, all right. Okay. She lights your face. Get the engines heated up. I'll try and get us out of here as stealthy as possible. We can fly low, blend into some of the surface traffic before taking off. Maybe that'll disguise some of our movement. But it's a crapshoot, guys. And if it's shoot on contact. And she shrugs and shakes her head and walks to the bridge.
It's all a crapshoot.
If she
I start
walks up,
dragging the body to the lab.
yeah, as that happening, Atlas looks at Sophie and says, "Is she okay?"
Sophie's like,
The worst person to be asking.
Sophie like goes to answer and then just stops and goes to wherever he's supposed to go.
He was going to wave it off, but then he remembered he can't.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Atlas sort of nods and says, "It is very unfortunate what happened to him, but he should be fine."
Oh, better than ever.
Agreed.
Selfie, I'll be needing you for measurements shortly. Is it the Phantom Limb finger or is it your good one?
My good hand, my right hand.
Oh no.
Oh, shit. I thought I got these all out of me when this happened to Ghosh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just reliving the joy that is the armless.
Yeah, he has this phantom hand that only Atlas can see because of his.
I wouldn't have
psionics,
done
so
that,
just
but
flipping
I think
everyone
it was
off
Kevin
all
who,
the time.
I think it was Kevin who was like, "Did I lose a limb?" And I was like, "Yes, you did." I did not bring it up. I didn't think about it that way.
No, yeah, I remember. I was like, no, I think sorry something happened. So, I was very excited when you said yes.
I need everyone in the party to make me a notice roll.
Notice?
Notice, yeah.
I love the layout of these two character sheets, but I just wish I could roll them straight from the character sheet.
I know it's
Oh,
weird for me
yeah.
because every time you guys pull up skills, I see all of you doing.
Is this
the
wisdom or
skill-
dex?
Wisdom.
Okay.
Oh shit! I rolled in. Never mind. I'll fix
That
it. Well,
is really odd. How it's like, oh, you want to do a skill? Here's a message for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
like
12.
everyone else
I got a
doesn't see all
12.
the messages. Yeah, Atlas. As Carmela walks away, she doesn't turn towards the bridge. She turns towards her cabin.
Atlas would walk towards her, like he wouldn't interrupt her, but he would go and wait to see what she does, because that's very odd. Usually she's like, "Well, let's get to work. It's time to work," but she's
Yeah.
going cabin.
She goes to the cabin, and you're following along, and she at some point looks back and shakes her head, and you find her in a room, and she's packing a bag. She's like, "We're gonna fucking die. I'm nearly dead. I need a hospital, Atlas. I
You
need a
can't-
fucking hospital."
Like at that point, like he sort of looks and says, "A hospital won't be able to help you for a while,
Yeah, but then they could help me get back right again. And
but we have
this is
you can be. I could put you back together with the TL4 medbay that we have. You don't need to worry about anything like that. What's got you so shaken?"
I've only heard stories about the Inquisition, a white lotus, whatever they call it here, the Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking ruthless. They will take everything they want and then some, and then dismember us. I don't want to end up that way. And more importantly, or rather, I don't know, Atlas, I want to hide. I want to be a nameless nobody. Nobody knows me. You guys carried me out unconscious. I didn't shoot the Inquisitor. I don't know.
Like as she says that, he says, "Yes, but you'd be dead without us.
I would be captured.
No, you'd be dead." Do I need to remind you what happened? And like he does a little hand wave and a flash to her body, dead, no pulse, and then Atlas fixing her and says, The safest place you can be is with us.
The safest place it could be is not in a place where we're transporting cargo that's gonna fucking blow up on us. Cargo. People.
We all made
People.
that. Yeah, he sort of nods and says, "We all made that mistake, though. Not just you."
Atlas. I think she's shaken. I'm not gonna go further. What do you do with her here? She's sitting on her bed in her cabin. Who else rolled? Selfie.
I was walking away too, so I don't see much.
Yeah, Maximus, you noticed too. You both noticed that she didn't go towards the bridge. Who rolled sevens, but that it didn't look abnormal, or you're just not noticing.
I'm going
out
to
of
the
it.
lab. I don't
Maximus comes around the corner at this point. Atlas, that you've been talking to her. I think Maximus, you're in the doorway, and Carmela is sitting on the bed and is going like this.
Maximus would get a telepathic contact, and it would say, "She wants to leave, and I mean the ship. I don't think she wants to be part of our crew anymore."
I look in on Carmela. I sigh and say, "I hold him up."
The plan is the right one. If we gotta go, we gotta go now. Or rather, with a chance the ship survives. It's now or a long time from now. I still don't like the odds. Because I don't like getting fucking blown up in space, incinerated. And I
like
think that's
the
what's gonna
odds?
happen.
Do you like the odds of hiding out on New Jerusalem for the next couple months? Evading the White Lotus at every turn?
I've been here. Max, you know the planet. I don't. You know the city. The city's huge. How many nooks and crannies can we hide in? I know how to
City's
hide it.
huge. City's huge, but White Lotus has a lot of tools. City ain't that big when you got Inquisitors with cybernetic implants looking for you.
I don't know. I think what they would expect is that a crew that was going to do a job, if it looks like our job was to bomb something, it wasn't, but if it looks like it was to bomb something and assassinate people, it would be to run as fast as possible. And that it only gets harder to find us if we hide. But I don't know. And she looks up at you, Max, and you can see her. She's weak and hurting, and she's like, I don't want to die here. I don't want to die in orbit.
We're not gonna die here, Carmela. The more you think about it, the more you run through possibilities, the more scared and frightened and upset you're going to get. Just remember this. They may have been expecting us to come here, but things haven't gone the way that anybody would expect. There's confusion, and that is our shadow. I've been through a lot of tough scrapes. This one's pretty bad, but I've made it out of worse. You're the pilot. We can't fly out of here without you. So if you say no, we'll stay.
There's no way to fly without her.
There isn't, because Varlo will drive us into a fucking building.
As you say that, Atlas is like, "Well, actually."
Fuck you.
Okay, so
I'm making her feel important.
No, Max, this is good. This is good.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
I want to read the.
Rosebud can fly herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Spike the rest of the crew. Just me and you.
Rosebud cannot actually just independent of anything.
Rosebud will turn us in.
Rosebud can fly herself in the sense that she finds the most common trafficked lane. You don't want Rosebud to fly herself. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Deception. Who knows?
Blend in.
You're gonna get a roll for that. That was good. She's shook. Let's look up. I just want to read through before I set the DC. It's not opposed. Where's the damn systems? Here we go. Combat. Combat's not combat. Skill checks. So it's gonna be a decent DC for a talk roll. Now Atlas is in the room with you and can maybe help in some way. It's gonna be DC 9 to convince her to let go of her concerns and trust you, Max. And it's talk. Convince other people of the facts you want them to believe. What they do with that conviction may not be completely predictable. Roll to persuade, charm, or deceive others. You're going to persuade her to trust you with a DC 9 save. Max, do you want to help him? Or, excuse me, Atlas, do you want to help him?
Yeah, I want to help.
Better, because my fucking roll is shit, so... Can I use
I'm
talk?
going to...
There's no persuade. Can I use talk?
No, it's talk. That's your roll.
Okay,
talk.
good. All right.
Can I?
You got that roll, but
Yeah.
Atlas is going for a second. Oh God!
Don't suppress cognition, the pilot.
you
What?
could
No,
use an
do
ability here that would make this very easy.
Yeah, I want to suppress the cognition of
God damn it.
of death while he's making this argument.
Okay, suppress cognition. Let's look up.
Jedi
Is
mind
this-
tricking
Is this one of those
Arturo.
abilities where they know that's happened after the fact?
No,
Okay.
that's not how that works.
Okay.
No, it's only for this argument, right? It's only for the scene. So after this
That's
scene,
how it always starts, Atlas. Only just one time.
So suppress. So everyone's reminded. Suppress cognition through intense focus. The telepath can make the target of a telepathic contact simply not think about something, whether that's the presence of the telepath, the possibility of committing violence, the absence of important documentation, or any other single potential action or one specific person. So, effort for the scene, main action, targets a mental saving throw to resist this power and become immune for the rest of the scene. If failed, the thoughts remain the thought remains unthinkable for the rest of the scene unless the target perceives physical danger or traumatic threat, or to something they prize highly. And in that case, the block instantly dissolves. So death itself is too broad.
okay. So then,
But
how
the
about-
possibility of committing violence suggests that a course of action.
yeah,
The fear of flying out of this planet, you
Yeah.
can suppress that. You
I
can
wanna-
make those
yeah.
burdens easier.
yeah, I want to get rid of that so that she's confident in her flying ability and her ability to get out of this. So that's what I do.
Okay. Commit the effort. She gets a mental saving throw.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. She wants to fail. I know she wants to fail.
I haven't looked at it. Nope. Stat block. Where the hell in the NPC sheet is the new? Okay, well, let me just see if it matters. It doesn't. She doesn't
Nope.
pass the mental saving, so it doesn't matter. So
She's so shook up. Yeah.
yeah. Max is talking and leans over, and Atlas, you just like blanket her with fatigue and comfort, kind of like she's sitting on her bed and she's just enveloped in this sort of like, I don't know, like weird dulling high of
Yeah, she sort of feels this melancholy, right?
yeah,
Like
just sort of
those worries sort of just dissipate, right? She doesn't feel the ants to like actually fly, but those fears like sort of go away. So she's like more level-headed, right? So she's
Yeah.
feeling she's just
Or more suicidal, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, you know.
But so yeah, make your talk roll. You made a good plea, Max. Make your talk roll. Your DC has been lowered.
Okay, there you go. You got this, Dad. That's a 7.
7 is what it had been reduced to from a 9. So
Ouch, fam.
you say this, and she goes, I don't know where I'd go anyway. I'm just so tired, and everything hurts. What do you want, Captain Max?
Get out of the system.
Fucking do it, right? Just fucking do it. Yeah, so she goes, and she's booting up the drives.
Party goal, Jimmy. Get out of the system.
No, it's not too late. Actually, this is the moment. You picked what you're gonna do. There have been hiccups. Does anybody else have any short-term goals? So Max's is get off the planet or get out of the system.
Get out of the system.
I mean, that was gonna be mine, but it's fine.
Build Selfie a new arm.
Build Selfie a new arm, 2 XP. Write it down.
Yeah.
Get out of the system, 2 XP. Someone write it down. Atlas, do you want a new goal? That wasn't leading in any way. I just
I don't think there's anything that he really learned that could be, and like I don't think any of his. Yeah, there's like nothing.
So I'll press you on this point.
Mhm.
Most of your goals that you've started, or rather from the beginning, have been about what you want to do for your people.
Yeah.
But you've been doing a lot for these people for a while now. What do you owe them? What do you feel that you continue to owe them?
I don't think he, but that's not Atlas. That he's alien. Remember, like he doesn't have those feelings. So I don't think there's any. Honestly, I don't think there's any goals that he would want right now, right? Besides get off the planet, right, and get Adair back. Those are the 2 goals that he has in mind that are his current short-term goals.
So why don't you take off Rear Child as a Scion? Because that was before you dropped him off at. And why don't you think on what your goal with Adair? Because so you got find a Scion to help Adair. I already gave you that 1 XP. So take that off. Find a Scion to help Adair. And it says rear the child as a Scion. Maybe rethink what you want to do with Adair. Come up with short or medium term type goal for Adair. Selfie, you just you made sure that you're still employed. Look what that got you. What do you want to do next? And maybe you want to take Adair under your wing.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't. Maybe that's becomes not a big deal, but more long term because you don't know what Adair is going to be like.
Well, I mean, I think my long term goal now is to extract revenge against Briggs University.
Yeah, that's not a long term goal.
That's not that long term, buddy.
Tell me how.
I
what
feel.
kind of revenge. What kind of?
Well, that's the
revenge
thing. I don't. We need to do some legwork to figure what that out. But I mean, he obviously wants to kill people. But if he could just like cripple them as a university, as like an organization, that's enough revenge for him as well.
We can kill some of them. We can discredit others. We can
You
do all
want
kinds of
to-
shit.
It sounds like you want to reduce them, lower them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Whether
want to make people know what they are. Sounds like.
I mean,
you want it to be more violent than.
I mean that's a viable option. Or if we just go and murder them all, that's fine too. I guess
They'll solve the Briggs University problem.
Yeah, like I think we need to figure out which one of those paths we want to go on, or maybe a little of both. Either way.
Yeah.
Well,
Either
Maybe not
way.
the entire university, but certainly whoever made the decision to put us in danger.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
That-
killing
that
people
guy
who had
needs to
no
die.
choice or anything. But yeah, like people in the higher ups and people who get in our way. Something
So
needs
you
to
want to
happen.
get it. You want to get out of the system, Maximus. This system, and to what end? Like, or in the sense of ensure everyone gets out safely out of the system. Maybe I will make you revise that a little bit.
Wait, my get out of the system one?
Yeah. So I'm just pushing you to make it a little bit more like slightly broader. Like, so it's get out of the system. It's get the Vanderhorn and the crew out of the system, right?
Yeah, just leave the system. Spike jump out of the system.
Cool. I like it. 2 XP.
Okay.
Carmela sighs and goes up, and she's exhausted. And she's firing up the engines, and she's like, I haven't heard back from Anastasia yet. But we should go, right?
Now's the time.
Yeah, that was the time.
All right. Okay. They're gonna be a little surprised when we trigger the open warehouse. I think we have a window, at least to get out of the atmosphere. I don't know what's gonna happen up there though. What assets are in place? We're good to go. Also, spike travel is not going to be easy. You guys know it's physically taxing, and we're all physically taxed. This is going to be not a fun trip. I don't make any
Physically taxed or dead?
dead up there. And but she says or dead up there, but goes kind of slack in the face, like or just dead. And let's go. Let's survive. Yeah, and she starts to boot up the engines, and the hangar bay opens. And do we want to break there? I got to do a little bit of thinking beyond what I've done to figure some things out for rolls. But why don't we take a quick break
Sure.
for our final session?
All right.
Or our final second.
Final session. All right.
Freudian slip. Oops.
And then he kills all of us in the
Yeah.
cafeteria.
We're gonna take a quick break, guys. We'll be back in a little bit for the final part of tonight's show. Thanks for watching.